everybody, Carlton C. Clay here, and this is another VPN chat. I am here with comedian, actor, and the star of the award-winning series In the Nick of Time, Carlos Big Los Massey. How you doing today, sir?
Man, I'm doing pretty good, man. Can't complain, man. Hey, man, just glad to be here, man. Thank you for having me, man. Appreciate you.
No problem, man. Definitely glad to have you on VPN chat. We're gonna talk about some things, some behind the scenes stuff.
Definitely.
But let's get started to your background. First of all, you play sports. You play football, to be exact.
Right.
Talk about that. Talk about your athletic career briefly.
Well, growing up in the neighborhood, I always played sports, and I always gravitated to football because that's the only sport that I could fit in. And if I can say that, I was a little too big to play baseball. I tried, it didn't work. A little too big to play basketball. I tried, it didn't work. So I found something that fit me.
Mm.
I said, wow, there's some other big guys that we can run around, we can hit each other. So I gravitating to football. It allowed me to take out a lot of my frustration growing up. I actually got to hit people and didn't get in trouble. That's what I loved about it. I love being able to hit people, but it actually taught me teamwork. It taught me, gave me self-confidence, taught me how to work out, how to really trust my body and learn how to, push myself to a limit. I've been playing football since I was about 12, man, about 12 years old, organized football, and played all the way up until my senior year in college. So I always enjoyed it. I love the sport. And actually, it took me a lot of places. I got to meet some great people. So I always enjoyed it. And just the lessons I learned from football, tough skin, learn how to take criticism, learn how to work as a team, take immediate feedback. Because doing football, you get immediate feedback, not wait down the road. If you mess up, they're going to tell you, hey, you suck. Yeah, right now you suck. Get off my field. And you have to be able to take it and not take it personal. So I learned a lot doing football. It helped me grow as a person. Because growing up, man, and we'll probably get into it, I was one of them kids trying to figure out, I was a little chubby kid, so I was always the one picked on and stuff like that. I had developed tough skin early.
Mm.
So, so football helped me do that.
So how did you go from doing sports, playing football, to how did you get into the comedy world? How did that transpire?
Man, I was still from growing up, man. I always had tough skin, and people used to pick on me all the time growing up. I've heard it all. I was a little chubby kid out of here. Every fat joke, every black joke, every nappy hair joke, every all kind of joke. So I had to learn because I used to get in trouble a lot because I used to fight a lot when I was little, like in elementary school and stuff like that. So I had to find a way to stop getting in trouble, but still hurdle. So I had to learn how to, be witty with my words, learn how to joke. And then, in football and growing up, you learn how to play the dozens and everybody joking. And I was always a jokester growing up. Always the class clown, laughing, joking. I could never be serious. I don't care what the situation was. Don't ever sit beside me during a serious moment. I'm going to find something to laugh about. I don't care what it is. And that's just the way I dealt with a lot of stuff. I deal with my pain that way. You know what I'm saying? It's just laughter has always come natural to me. And I love making people laugh and cracking jokes and always the jokes. And so once I got out of school and had a family and just somebody dared me to try it. They dared me to try it, and then I tried it and I loved it ever since.
Awesome. What kind of, what gratification have you received? Because I hear that being on stage as a comedian is like a drug. That's what I hear from my fellow comedian friends. Like, how do you get gratified? Like, what's the gratification from that?
Man, I'm telling you, there's nothing like going up there, and just for me, going into a place that nobody know you. There's no preconceived, people gonna always, especially when they hear comments. So when you see a comedian, you already have your favorite comedian in your head. So they're prejudging you, they don't know you, but to have them laughing by the end of your set, there's nothing. Because once again, in comedy, you get immediate feedback. Like films and stuff, you have to wait till it come out, look at the reviews, whoa. Nah, you step up there in the comic, and within the first 5 minutes, they either gonna boo you or get quiet or they're gonna laugh with you.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the three things that's going to happen on every comic. Either they're going to ride with you or they're going to sit like this. That's it. You know what I'm saying? But to have a crowd really respond to you, and you go into a set and people laugh and people come up to you and be like, "Man, I that joke, I can relate to it," or
Mm-hmm.
that joke kind of hit me. That helped me get through. I was dealing with a crazy ex. I didn't know how to deal with her, but that joke kind of helped me deal with a crazy ex that I went to church with. She was stalking me in the name of. So thank you, for saying that to me. So uh, the crowd, man, that's not it really is, man. It's really like a drug for you to go up there, test your material, and people really respond to
Have you ever been heckled?
it. Yes,
And
man.
how did that go? Like, how did you react to that?
um, the first time I didn't react too well, and I probably shouldn't have did because I was in church.
Oh Lord.
Um,
Oh Lord.
yeah, and it's like, especially when I first started doing comedy, not like it is now. You can find a comment every time you throw a rock down the street. But now, when I started, like over 15, 20 years ago, I started doing comedy in the church. So that was kind of taboo. They was like,
Mm-hmm.
nah, we don't supposed to be laughing. So one of the first early comedy shows I was doing comedy, and you know how somebody's laughing, but they're not really laughing, they're mocking you. So he was like, yeah, that's funny right there. I'm pretty sure Jesus laughed.
Wow.
So I tried to ignore it, but then he kept wanting attention. And people listen. The thing you can do is when a comic on stage is to distract him or try to bring light to yourself, because he will give you the attention you want. And I happened to give him the attention he wanted, because what happened, and I didn't mean to, Carson. He, okay, how can I put this? He had dreads, but he was bald. He was he had dreads on the side, but he was bald on the top. All I
Yikes.
said, Carter, hey man, you need to stop playing and cut that off. Crowd
Yikes.
went crazy, and I was like, I loved it. I was like, why are you scaring people, man? Either you're gonna be bald headed or you're gonna have dread. You can't do both, man. Jesus say please. And when the feeling I had from that, he me for he really wanted to fight me after that. I was like, but we had a conversation. I said, you came at me.
Right.
Don't you can't if you dish, you gotta take it. Just like
Right.
I crack a lot of jokes and people crack jokes on me, and that's fine. I know people don't need no malice intent, but that particular night, he got it. Now he was one of the deacons. He had to get it.
Not the deacons.
Yeah, and Carlton, I don't usually do that. That's not my style to pick on people in the crowd, or But if you're continually trying to say something to get my attention, I'm gonna give you the attention that you want.
I feel it. I feel it
Right.
100%. That you know what? Like yeah, that I would like I do a lot of things, but
Right.
trying to be a comic is not one of them. I totally respect you all for what you do.
Right.
I know I'll get up there and just freeze and be like, yeah, nah, that's yeah. I'm gonna leave it up to y'all, but that's dope. So let's get into. I know we going to talk about like how we first met and get into our beginnings and everything. I remember first meeting you. You were the host of the second Playwrights Gala Awards in
Right.
Greenville, South Carolina. You host with
Mhm.
Tara Sharp. Um, I don't think me and you had a conversation, but like I said, I know I won that night, and I think you gave me my award. I think it's been a while, but
Right. Yeah. Right.
um,
Yeah.
so we met then, and I told this story, and I'll tell it again to you. I told the story when I interviewed Bird. But that night, I was sitting with Javetta and TJ Swan, and
Hmm.
we were all. It was me, Shataria, my sister Kendra, and our other actor friend Torrance, and we were all sitting together at the
Yeah.
table. And
We was all
we
packed. We was packed in that little room. We was packed in that little room like this. Go ahead, man.
See, I was trying to be nice, and you acting up. You acting
Yeah.
up.
We was
Uh,
all sitting next to each other. But go
uh,
ahead, man. My bad. My bad.
but we was all at the table together, and I remember just really vibing with Javetta and TJ, and I told Bird in our talk that I said, yeah, that night I really said in my head, I was like, I really want to do something with this crowd of people, with this, and that's kind of how Lovers Lane was birthed. was
Right.
because of being at that event and just meeting the different type of people that were there. Now we did chop it up at the third. Was it the third one? I can't. No, that wasn't the third one because I was in New York. The one, whatever one I was in Texas, me and you had a conversation because
Right.
I found out that you were a big fan of the Lions Den.
Yes.
That's why I
Yes.
found out you were a big fan of Lions Den. What about the show that pulled you in? What was it about it that you liked?
Man, I love a good story. And and I'm a night hawk. Sometimes I stay up late, and I love just a good story, and I love to kind of follow from the beginning. And when I met you and saw you in South Carolina, just your talent, man, I said, I gotta follow this dude. So once I started watching the first one, it was just the storyline of that. I wanted to see where it went. And so I followed it ever since. And I love the characters. I tell Chantel, is it Chantel or Chantel?
Chantel.
I tell her every day, I said, I'm your number one fan. I would love her from the jump. Her little loud self. And I was just like, I love her. She is so loud. I just love the characters, love the storyline. It just, I don't know, it just did something to me to follow that storyline with the family and see how different. And I'm telling you, man, I always tell you this. I always say, you're one of the best writers that I know because the writing of that's what caught me. The writing, it was just the characters and trying to figure out what was going to happen. And each season, it got twist and twist, and we thought he was gone, then he showed back up, and then the brother. It was just overall a good storyline for me, man. I enjoyed it.
I appreciate that, man. That definitely means a lot. So you watched all 100 episodes.
Yes, I watched everything. I watched all of each. I start from the beginning. And what I love, and I told you this, I love to watch a show and watch any artist where I can watch them grow and get better and evolve and get better. I watched you from the beginning where it was a setting this way, then with the set started getting better, the quality started getting better, the camera shot, and I watched it grow. And I was like, this dude is really, because and I'm a fan of people, man. I love to see people grow and evolve and do something different and challenge themselves. So that's what I loved about each season. It got better. Each season you push the envelope. Each season you had more, how can I say, more provocative naked shower scenes. Each season, that's your trademark too, the naked shower. I say they ain't got a washcloth in sight, but but it, it was just to watch you evolve, man, and watch your characters evolve. And I start clinging to all the characters. And what's the I can't think of her name. She's the sweetest little. Um, she was the wife, and the family didn't really like her. I can't think of her name.
Sheree.
Yeah, man, I was so big. I was her fan. Like y'all leave her alone. She just trying to live her life. Then y'all go again. You know what I'm saying? She trying to get a little boo and somebody run him off. He crazy or something. But I became a fan of the show.
So who? So I mean, I think it's obvious, but who was your favorite character on the show and why?
I was Sheree. That's her name.
Yeah, Sheree. Yeah.
Yeah, Sheree. Because I just cleaned her story and what she was trying to do. Even though she was a little, she got caught up in a situation. That's life. But I don't know. I just thought I was her biggest fan. Even I was rooting for her. Even she did my man wrong and sleeping with the other dude. That happens. You make mistakes. Sometimes you slip and fall and fall on something. But it's just her. She's one that's my favorite character.
I loved how, because we'll get into that later. Like we'll get into the actual movie later, but I love when we were shooting the Kwanzaa movie, how excited you and Audrey were. Because we shot at the actress name is Rachel, but we shot at her
Yeah.
house for one of the scenes. And
Yes.
I love how excited y'all were when y'all actually finally
Right.
met her in person. That was
Yes.
cool to me. That was cool to me. I was like,
Man.
can we take a picture? That was
Yeah.
dope.
I had to calm down. I didn't want to feel like I was stalking her or nothing like that. Cause it's this new age stalking stuff. I was just a fan of her and just better to meet her. I always said, man, I would love to just do a scene, just do something with her, like she's my daughter or something in the same scene or on the same kind of set. So I think she's a dope. All of them are dope, but I just showed her.
Yeah. Definitely. Like I said, I think, like I said, I love how what I love about the Victory Productions crew. I love about you guys is you all are fans of each other. I love how y'all get excited when y'all meet each other, especially when it comes to the
Hmm.
North Carolina and the Georgia crew, because
Right.
y'all don't see each other. So when y'all do get in one room, it's like y'all get really excited about that. That does my
Right.
heart. That does my heart good from the outside. Looking in. I think
Yeah.
that's dope. That's really
Yeah.
dope.
And that really speaks to you, man. Speaks to because everything I always believe this. Everything rolls downhill. If you have a great leader, a great positive that sets this expectation, good spirit, we all a family, man. We all cheer for each other. There's no competition. We promote each other, and it starts from you, man. You just came in genuine spirit, just um, had very creative, humble. When I saw you perform that night in soccer, I was like, man, this dude got it. He was just humble. A lot of people don't be that way. A lot of people get big headed, but you stay humble, man. And everybody I met from Georgia, I love them. It's like a family, man.
Mm.
Um, and I just get excited, man, just to see people creating and doing stuff, man. So yeah, I'm a big fan. Whenever I see something come out, VPN or anything I know, I'm watching it, I'm putting it on, we blasting it because, like you said, it gave me a shot. So I'm part of the family too.
I appreciate that, man. Definitely appreciate you, of course, for sure. Now you also had a role. Your first official role with us was on Lovers Lane. You played
Right,
Malachi and Gabe's dad. Um,
right,
the dad that left the family, but we find out why he left the
right.
family. Um, how was it playing that role and coming into because you came in at the end of season three, like the very last episode of
Mhm.
season three, and then carried on to season four. How was
Right,
it playing that part?
man. You probably I was so excited just to be a part of Lovers Lane. It's almost like being a part of a show that you love. So when you contact me, I was like, oh yeah, I get to, yeah, finally. But just to be in that role, I'm man, Kevin J. Stone is one of the I'm just such a big fan of this guy just as a human being. Just to
Mm,
be on set with him and Nelson, those guys are just, when I say just great guys, talent, top of the list, professional. Um, just to be in that particular space in that vein. And Kevin, he's so and still to the day, I'm like, I still feel like I should have whooped his tail because he did such a job with his pain and his anger. And you know what I'm saying? That's like a real issue that he really didn't let that go. And I'm like, man, nah, man, I feel in the scene, I'm like, nah, I need to whoop your tail. I need to take my belt off. So, um, but for real, that's how real it felt. And I look back some of those moments and our stare downs and our intense moments, that was real. You
mm.
know what I'm saying? I know he went to a place and I went to a place. And I'm like, man, hold on, man. You ain't gonna talk to me. I'm your daddy. But it was great, great set. She, I still think she didn't cry enough for me when I was gone. I told her about that. And I said, nah, you didn't give me enough. You know what I'm saying? You got rid of me too fast, but it was just a great time. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed how it developed in the storyline. And I still, like I said, that's one of my biggest moments because first of all, I got to be in Lover's Lane. Then I got to act across from the great Kevin J. Stone. I had to be there, the Nelson, and just to be there. And okay, I'll say this. And I say, and this not to be. I didn't realize Nelson was short as he was. So when we hugged in that scene, I almost felt like I needed to pick him up. But you know, but but he's a good dude, man. He's a good dude. So I enjoyed it.
And then yeah, and then like I said, Katia, she played your ex-wife, and
Right.
you actually introduced me to Katia.
Yeah.
So, I definitely credit you for that because
Right.
she's absolutely amazing.
When I met her, man, she just humble, sweet, talented, man, out of this world. And I said, and I always thought, I said, man, really, we need to do something together. And then when the opportunity came, I was like, hey, yo, uh, my man, look, I'm gonna send his stuff. We're gonna see what happens. So,
Mm.
and that's how this game goes, man. That's what I love that you do. you reach out to people, and we should all be reaching out to somebody else, trying to put somebody else on, if you know a project or whatever. That's what I love about you. You reach out to people, independent artists, and then you don't get starstruck men like that. And that's what it's about. Just giving people a shot.
Yeah, definitely, man. I definitely appreciate that. Now I know that was your first time like really working with me.
Mm-hmm.
So what was your like first impression? Because it was, I'm not gonna front, it was really chaotic. Um I mean, it was like it was an organized, it was organized
Chaos.
chaos. You
Mm-hmm.
know, because if again, for people who have filmed with me before, or if you don't really know, like we were definitely filming a lot of stuff, a lot of scenes, trying to get
Right.
stuff out, you know, trying to get stuff done because again, you got so many people on set, and that Carlos, actually that season 3 was the first season we actually had like Moni and her team. They was actually on set doing the makeup,
Yeah.
the hair, and the clothes and all that stuff. So we had,
Yeah.
so I had to incorporate that into the schedules. It was just a lot of stuff going on. It's so funny because I'll watch the show now, and I was like, how in the world
Right.
did we do all that in such a short period of time? And it just amazes me just the quality of the people that I got to work with.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because
Right.
to me, it's a team effort. I mean, I can put it all together, but I mean, if you don't have all the proper pieces in place, I mean, it doesn't matter. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? So I definitely appreciate like you and everybody that was a part of everything that we've done. But how was
Mm-hmm.
it when you came onto the set? You saw all this going on. You was like, because
Right.
I know if I would have come
Now,
on set, I would have been like, what's going on?
bro, let me tell you something. Nah, I'm gonna tell you something, bro. You were the most organized creator up to this point. I've been on a lot of sets, done shot a lot of stuff. We shoot one scene this week. We shoot the next scene in March. We shoot the next scene in July, and then we'll see it in a year and a half. You think I'm playing? I'm being dead serious. To see you do it within the time span, is you had everything lined out. It's chaos, but it's organized. Everybody know what they need to be, what they need to be. But as soon as you say quiet on the set, that's what I loved about it. However we was doing what we was doing, Buddha, once you said quiet on the set, that shows me respect for you, respect for the craft, respect for the project. I've been on sets where a dude had to say quiet on the set 10 times, or he had to shoot a gun, pow, pow, be quiet. So for
Mm,
you to just, I love the process. I love getting it done, getting it out the way. All right, moving on to the next thing. Because when I first saw, I was like, damn, we gonna shoot this in the weekend? But I understood it. Like once you give it, we're gonna come in here, y'all. We're gonna knock this thing out. It don't take a. It's gonna take a long time. Ever since then, when I'm working with somebody, I'm like, yo, it's gonna take this long. It's take this long because you want to take this long. Because sometimes we put limits on ourselves. I
mhm.
love you. You push. You use every amount of space you have in a day. I don't care. You squeeze it in. You can be like, all right, I'm gonna shoot this real quick. 3 minutes. I'll be right back. You go out there, shoot this, come back, do this. We'll shoot the scene. All right, y'all. Person showed up. I'm gonna go back here and shoot this 5 minutes. You use every amount of space, and you don't allow any kind of. What I loved about it, between the scenes, we could talk and chat, but no distraction when you were trying to fit a schedule, man. So I appreciate your schedule, your dedication, your professionalism. Even in a, like I said, organized chaos. As soon as you said quiet on the set, everybody knew what that meant.
Man, that means a lot, man. That it truly, because sometimes you know you could doubt yourself. You could be like,
Right,
this doesn't seem like I know what I'm doing, but
right,
it all comes together. So to hear that does mean a lot,
right.
you know. Because I mean, it's like when you're in it, it's like all right, you just for me, I was like, all right, I'm trying to get everything done, especially for people who for instance for you, you weren't a regular, you were a guest star, so it was like
Right.
trying to get all your stuff done and then also still trying to make sure everybody else still straight.
Yeah.
It was a lot going on. So, you know, and then
Right.
again, it's literally just me. You know, most people they got their
That's what I
crews,
loved about it.
they got their crews and everything. So like, and I'm gonna be honest with you, I would not I would not suggest trying to do all this without a crew. I would not like looking back on it, like just like 38-year-old Carlton. Nah,
Man, that's what amazed me so much. When you would come up here to shoot, it was you, camera, and a light. That was it. You, camera, and a light. Now, and I'm like, it don't take. And he's proven that it really don't take. You work within whatever you have, but I've seen, man, people show with a sound person, light person, and it still come out looking like a freaking 1980 floor model. What's all the people for? But that showed me you studied the craft, you studied your equipment, you studied lighting. Well, I don't need to do this light here. Okay, this is all I need. When I tell you showed up with a camera and a light and a battery, that's it. And you might have some headphones. And the quality that you put out, man, is phenomenal. And it just hit me when you said it. It was just you. You and your camera, quiet on the set, action. All right, do it again. Man, I'm telling you, man, awesome, man. That's a gift. Everybody, you organized it. They show you organized. I love it because you were organized. And I hate showing to a set and I'm waiting. Get to a set, they tripping, they ain't there, they setting up. And to any filmmakers, anybody out there doing, I shouldn't beat you to your set. I shouldn't beat you to your set. And that's what that should get me. I beat you to your set. Now wait. Now you gotta show up. Now you gotta tell me your story. Now I gotta sit there with you and you talking. You waiting on this camera. All right, man. All right. Then by the time we done talk for 45 minutes, all right, let me go out to the truck and get my camera. Where I'm telling you, man, I've had some experiences, bro. But I just appreciate you, man. I appreciate you.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. I appreciate that, man. I definitely appreciate that. Which leads to your leading role on the award-winning series In the Nick of Time. We got to go through the background though first. We got to get the people just in case people have never heard this story from me about how this show ended up being what it is now. So, it actually started off. I can't say the name of the actor, but it started off being a script for a well-known actor. He was in a miniseries on NBC, and that's all I'm gonna say. And so then I wrote the script for this person, and he was very excited actually about doing the project. I explained to him I was trying to expand. I did stuff. I'm doing stuff in North Carolina. Of course, I'm doing stuff here in Georgia. So I was like, okay, cool. I would love to expand out to LA, try to get a project out there to get a web series done out there. But he was very excited about the project. What happened was I was doing Bondage at the same time. And if you've seen Bondage, you know what the show is about. So what ended up happening was the people that were on his team at the time, I guess they Googled me or whatever. They saw Bondage, and it was like they didn't think it was a good idea for him to be associated with Bondage. With me doing Bondage because it might sully his brand or whatever. So that didn't happen, but I still had the scripts. I just had them sitting there. An associate of mine that lived in New York, I think he still lives in New York, I'm not sure, but anyway, he lived in New York at the time, and I told him about the project. We ended up renaming it In the Nick of Time. Oh, that was another thing, because the original title of the show was the actor's name. It was his first name.
Oh. Wow.
So like Martin, Steve Harvey show,
Mm-hmm.
So it was his first name, and so that was another reason why they didn't think that would be a good idea. So I have the scripts. I talked to the associate of mine, and we ended up changing it to In the Nick of Time. So he was going to actually take the scripts and film it in New York. So this would have been the first project where I was actually giving somebody else, somebody else is going to be doing the production. Unfortunately, it didn't pan out. I'm still to this day not sure what happened. So this is when I came to you and I was like, hey, I have this series that I really want to shoot. I think it'll be dope. Would you be interested in playing the lead character, playing Nick? Only thing I ask of you is if you could help me get the locations or all the, just the
Mm-hmm.
locations that we need or whatever. And you and Javetta, because I wanted Javetta to be a part of it. Javetta came in, of course, she played your manager, and you came in and you was like, "Yes, I would love to do it." And then we got Katia in there.
Right.
And then we get hit, and then I hit up my guy Frederick Devon. He came in playing your brother. Now this is where the tricky part came. Who was gonna play Andrew? And we could talk. We're definitely gonna talk about this Andrew situation this whole time. But let's talk about when you first got the scripts. What were your thoughts about the show In the Nick of Time?
Man, first of all, I was blown away to have this opportunity to even play a lead role. That was really my first lead role in like a series. So I was excited. I was honored. I was nervous. I was scared. Everything goes in your head. It's like, can you pull it off? Can you be realistic? So you go through all this stuff in your head. It's like, no, you wouldn't be in this position if you couldn't do it. So I started reading the script and the storyline. It caught me, and I was like, wow. And then it was, I don't know if you said you wrote this before you met me and all, it was so really close to my actual stuff I've been through. I was like, wait a minute, this dude been following me? It's funny how a lot of that stuff that I've been through, dealing with, not to that extent, but dealing with, my oldest daughter, I was dealing with some issues with between me and her mom and trying to figure that stuff out. And being a comedian, trying to balance comedian work life. And so a lot of this stuff and trying to go through my own head and dealing with people close to me. I just found out I had a brother. My brother's 19 years younger than me. So we still trying to understand our bond. So I was like, this is really like almost like my life and dealing with, my feelings and dealing with the caseworker and trying to figure that out. So it was so good because it challenged me to go deeper than a normal. Okay, I can play a funny role. That's easy. I can play it in my sleep. But can I give these emotions in these different scenes?
Mm-hmm.
And so that's why I wanted to challenge myself with each role. I wanted to be good. I wanted to come off genuine, come off like just like all the emotions that I needed. And I feel, and I'm a very strong critic of myself. Like, ugh. But going back and looking at it now, I can see how the character evolved. See how me and my brother's relationship. See how what was your better name?
Diana, I think. Diana.
Me and Diana's relationship kind of evolved. Me, of course, had Hannah. People love to hate her. I don't know why. Everybody like, isn't she violate some rules or something? And my daughter's right now, she's studying to be a social worker. She's like, we can't be doing that there. I say, I know it's people love to hate her. But then they grew to kind of in the beginning, they was like, why is she doing that? But then they grew to love her. So I love it because even it started at a certain point and it evolved and it grew.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I love the script.
Definitely, man. I appreciate that, man. And definitely, I want to say I saw your growth as an actor. I could tell that. I mean, you were good in season one, but the evolution of
Right.
you can tell that you really studied throughout the course of the
Mm-hmm.
filming. Because the difference between you season one and as an actor and between you and season four, the final season is evident. It's there. Like
Yeah.
you could tell, you can
Yeah.
see the growth. So kudos to you on definitely just evolving the character, like even
Right.
more. Let's talk about this Andrew situation. Because yeah, if you haven't seen the show, you will notice that Carlos had 3 sons on that show.
Man, everybody who watch it, they like, hey man, wait a minute. So I say, yeah, man, just go with those. But I'm saying, dog, he went from light skin to dark skin to light skin. I said, just go with it.
just you got to. So yeah, so basically um so the first 2 seasons. So the first season we had the original Andrew, excellent, amazing. He was awesome.
Excellent, great,
Just he was
great,
great. So, but you
right,
know what happens as kids? Kids change their minds about things that they want to
Right.
do. So originally he was like he really wanted to be an actor. We started shooting season 2. He told his mother he no longer wanted to be an actor. He wanted to play basketball. So she told me, she said, yeah, he doesn't really want to act anymore. And I was like, I kind of need him though. So we ended up, so if you notice on season 2, Andrew's only on the first 2 episodes and not the last 2.
Right.
And I told him, I said, hey, if you just give me one day with him and we can knock out his scenes, I promise you we won't hear from me ever again. And so she talked to him. He said he'd do it. So he did that one day, and then that was it. And so then I already knew, okay, so season 3, because honestly, and this sounds bad, but I honestly thought about killing.
I know. I was gonna say, go ahead and say it.
I thought about killing Andrew off the show, because y'all know me. I'm real quick to kill somebody off the show.
Hey, so, let me tell y'all something. Carlton will either he gonna replace you, and it ain't gonna be subtle. It'll be like, hey, oh man, what happened? Andrew died in a car wreck. Let's move on. And yeah.
And I was like, nah, that's gonna be too much. I said that's too much. So then I got a second per actor. Shout out to Nick Reese. Nick Reese came in season 3 and played Andrew. And I think it had been some time between we shooting season 2 and season 3 anyway. So it kind of sort of worked, but like I said, the complexion kind of was like, but just rock with it. Just rock with it. If you can rock with the Aunt Vibs, you can rock with it.
You can rock with it. You can rock with it. And Carlton, what's funny is, it's funny. People really pay attention to stuff.
Yeah.
People really pay attention. And that's why I tell people, man, people watch more than we think they do. They pay attention to everything, every detail, her hair, her, like, for real. Oh, wait a minute, Monique. They ain't the same Monique that was in the gutter. Don't worry about it. Keep going. We're gonna keep. People pay attention. Like, man, Lo, you got a new house every season. Don't worry about that. People really. My daughter asked my oldest, she said, "Well, Daddy, okay, but what kind of work do you do?" I'm a comedian. She said, "But you ain't been in no show since the first season." People really pay attention. That's what I love about all your content. People pay attention.
That's what's up. I love it. So yeah, we got to Nick. Nick did it, and then here we are, season 4. So what ended up happening is Nick is obviously older than what the character was. Nick actually at the time was either junior high school. No, he was a junior. He was junior high school, I believe, sophomore or junior, but I believe junior. And by the time we was getting ready to shoot season 4, he was getting ready to go off to college. And so we ended up setting dates around him before he went off to college, but then he was like, something happened with the date, so he couldn't make it anymore. So then I was like, okay. So then we had to hit up my guy Monty. Shout out to Monty. And
shout out to Monty, man.
He came in and finished out the show for us and finished out Andrew. So the evolution of Andrew, I'll talk about your evolution. I'll talk about your evolution. Andrew's evolution is obviously apparent.
But man, all 3 of them, man, were great. Especially, absolutely, like I said, the first Andrew, man, that guy came in there, he hit it, played this role. What used to throw me off was made me so into the scene, the way he looked. His facial expression. Like he was really, really dealing with something. And I've been that kid before. I've been that kid where, you ain't seen your dad in a while, you see him and you'll know it's like, it's uncomfortable. I know he's my dad, but I ain't seen him. A lot of people have told me some stuff. So I can see in his mind, he's really going to that place.
Yeah.
So the Andrew, then the other one, he really was, all of them was good because they challenged me in different ways.
Yeah.
Because that scene where I thought I was tripping, he stood there and he called me a liar. I was like, this dude really, he meant that thing. He was like, no, you're not. I was like, oh, you gave that line, bro. And then the last one, his emotions, the level of his emotions in season 4. That's why I cried. I cried for real, man. I don't even know where they came from, bro.
I know. I remember. I know.
When we was there, it's because I kept looking at him And that thing brought something out of me, bro. I had to get myself together. And I'm glad you kept it because that was a real true moment. The moment I saw him, and it's something about watching him walk by the pain, I couldn't hold it, bro. I
Yeah.
couldn't, and that's what that season and that whole series it evolved to because even though me and her went through our troubles, me and her was going back and forth. I still loved her. She was, my son's mother. And she really was the one I really loved, but we just couldn't work it out. And sometimes in life, I know this might sound crazy, your heart can be torn because the one I really love and really want, we trying to figure it out. But Monique really was his first love, and he didn't know how to get over. And
Mm.
so he kept trying, and they was doing the shacking up thing. They was doing we live here. And then, then in season 3, I got caught up. And you know what I'm saying? I went upstairs, came down, and was caught in between two worlds. So when she fought, and that's something when a woman's really finally done with you, and you know she's done with you, that thing hurts. Cause
Yeah.
I couldn't talk in the stand.
Yeah.
And that scene of me and her, I felt that because she was like, I'm done. She like, no, when she said that you are my trigger, that that scene was powerful because watching her walk out and Nick didn't know, that'd be the last time he saw her.
Yeah.
You know what
Shout
I'm
out
saying?
to
So
yeah. Yeah. I was about to say shout out to Kimberly Newsom.
Kimberly, man,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. Shout out to
she
her.
brought it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Devin, like you said again, I want to acknowledge all three Andrews. Shout out to them too, man. I think everybody just did an amazing job
right.
on that series. Everybody was a part of it. Everybody, man. Bruce. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like you and Bruce were great
Bruce,
antagonists
brother.
against each other. Like, just everybody that was a part. Again, shout out to Fred. Um,
Fred,
I love y'all's relationship on the show.
right.
Yeah, everybody just did. Donnell came in. Um,
Donnell came, the bad guy.
yeah, he was the bad guy, but I loved how Donnell made his character so 3-dimensional. You know,
Right.
it was definitely, you saw the reason, of things of
Yeah,
why things
yeah,
occurred. And of course, rounded up, gotta give a shout out to Bird, man. Bird came in,
yeah.
she did her
Of
thing,
course,
like
always.
so. Yeah,
And
yeah,
thing I love, and then even with development, me and her so close. Really, she's really like my. If I had a little sister to be her, the
hmm
scene we shot when we really was going at it.
yeah,
I mean, that scene was so intense. It felt weird, but we know we both had. I said, okay, Javetta, I know we don't do this, but we got to go at each other.
yeah,
And you could tell we really went at each other. I said, I'm really gonna go at you. I don't
yeah,
know if some stuff is in the script or not, but just to see the dynamics of everybody, even
yeah,
with and when it just showed Nick so many levels to him,
yeah, absolutely.
because him and Hannah's where it started, where it was going, where we thought it was going. Um, it was we didn't know if we was crossing lines, if we make a lose a job, and it was. But man, that scene when Monique showed up and walked in that living
Yeah, we're gonna talk about that. We're
room.
gonna definitely talk about that because and then again and then also shout out to Javetta, shout out to Amston. Amston Hills.
Absolutely right,
Yeah, he was. I loved his. He was the kind of the. He's a
right,
comedian. He's a comedian too, but
right.
he came in as a comedic relief. So it was dope. Just everybody that was a part of it in the good time. Shout out to you.
So well,
It was real dope. But we're gonna talk about that scene real quick because first of all, I just want to say it was not in the script for Nick and Monique to go up the stairs. Carlos, Big Los, Massey came up with that. We were shooting, and it's because in the original script they're supposed to just have the little moment in the kitchen, and then she like leaves or whatever. Nick, Carlos said, "Hey, I think she should lead him up the stairs," and I was like, I said, in the next scene he's supposed to kiss Hannah, right?" And he was like, "I know, but I just really think she should lead him up the stairs."
yeah,
And
yeah,
I said, okay. I said, you're gonna look real slimy, but
right.
you was like, he's like, let's go with it. I said, okay, let's do it.
Yeah,
So that's how
and
That's how that scene happened. That was definitely a Carlos suggestion that we decided to go with.
And I'm telling you, man, you'll be surprised how many people paid attention to me going upstairs, coming back down. They was like, dude, you just got finished. But I wanted to show that level of, even though me and her are friends, but our connection is so strong to where, you know, I can't tell her no.
Mm,
You know what I'm saying? I'm pulled in that way, but then here come troublemaker knocking on the door. I can't tell her no. So my heart is being split, and that's one thing about Nick. He was dealing with so many different things, and one of his weaknesses was women.
mm,
So he was trying to please two women and end up losing both of them. But I want that scene to show where he can't tell her, even though he tried to dress her like we just friends, but she kept kind of baiting him and baiting him. Well, she turned you down, did she? Well, you know, and I was like baiting him, like, I like this. I messed everything. I was like, yeah, it's time for him to seal the deal. But
mm.
but it shows some men get caught up like that because some men vices or people are addicted to women. But he was trying to deal with that thing, and I hope it came out
Nah, it came
all
out great. It came out fantastic. That was a great suggestion. I'm glad that I listened to you. So
right.
that was dope. Who does Carlos think Nick should have been with? Ended up with. We already know what happened, but who does Carlos think Nick should have ended up with at the end? Let's act like
Man, that's
spoiler alert. If you
that
have not
has
seen
yeah.
if you have not seen In the Nick of Time, Monique did die, and Nick did end up with Hannah. But we're gonna act like Monique didn't die, and we're gonna act like he did end up with Hannah. So, but who does Carlos think that Nick should
Wow,
be
man,
with?
hey, man, that's a tough question because he was in love, honestly, with Monique, but he was hurt. But he had fall he was falling for him. So, and they kept getting closer. But because he couldn't distance himself from Monique, he couldn't really free himself from her. So it was a hard. So the one I think because of his connection with Andrew, I'm gonna say this, he probably should have worked it out with Monique
Mm,
because that would have been um, probably best for his family. And but the only thing is, Hannah couldn't keep coming around. That was it. Every time it get good, we get a knock on the door.
mm-hmm,
Every time we get comfortable. So I think if he would have kind of just like, because you think about it, what pushed what pushed Monique to go do what she did was seeing me doing what I did.
mm,
So Nick what really broke me down, I took the blame of her passing away.
mm.
Because if I wouldn't have did that right after I did what we did, knowing how she felt about me, knowing how I felt about her, and that's sometimes with men, they take for granted a woman's feelings when you be with them intimately.
Mm.
Me being with her intimately, giving her false hope. And you could every scene you could see she was kind of building up hope, even though she dealt with Hannah. She liked her. I love when she showed she didn't really care for her. So me giving her that hope, and when we finally connected, or it made it look like we connected, she had hope. So when she came downstairs and saw that broke her heart.
Yeah.
So when people get hurt, they result. So I would say
Wow.
that's probably the
Monique, Miss Monique. Gotcha, gotcha.
best.
All right. Well, I want to definitely say salute to you because you, out of all the people that I have worked with, you are one of the most consistent promoters that you did one of the most consistent promoters, man. Like you're always when the season was going, when the season was new season was going, when we're out of season, even now, it's like you're still constantly
Yeah,
promoting the show, and I just appreciate that about you, and I appreciate you for doing that because like you definitely when it's amazing when someone takes the lead of a project, they really put on that captain's hat. You really put on the captain's hat for this show. So the show, I really truly believe the show would not be what it is today without you. So definitely want to give you a shout out and say thank you for everything that you've done
Oh man, I
for
appreciate it,
this
man.
show, man. I definitely appreciate you.
And that's the thing. It's like, I don't understand, but people, everybody do their own thing. But if I'm in a project, especially if it's something that I know is good quality, and that's what promotion is. That's what marketing is.
Mm-hmm.
Put it out there. Because there are people who haven't seen it. That you get new friends, you get new followers. There are people to this day that I'm still trying to reach that never seen it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna keep putting it to where when they see it, I had a guy inbox me. Matter of fact, last week, he's like, "Man, I'm trying to find in the time. I see you post about it. Can you send me the link?" Because you see them, so people will get around to it
Mm-hmm.
if you keep putting it in their face. So, and I just believe in the project, and it'd be surprised I'm talking to people and they follow the show, who their favorite characters were, um, who they cling to, what I think is going on. I shouldn't have yelled at Diana like that. You better leave Hannah alone. Monique need to leave. You know how people get caught up. They get caught up
Yeah.
in it. Man, you should have whooped your brother tail. How dare you do? So I wanted to create that kind of fan base, just like you see anybody else.
Yeah.
Create it. You know what I'm saying? We sometimes ask. We do a lot of complaining. Well, ain't nobody support me. No, you ain't put it out there enough.
Mm.
I want you to get sick of it to where you say, man, let me go watch this, man. He been paid. Man, but a lot of people like, Lowe's, I finally watched your series. I don't get salty, but I'm glad you at some point in time you sit down and you finally saw it.
Yeah.
And like you said, I say this all the time, man. There are billions of people in this world. Stop worrying about the 20 people who don't like your stuff.
Mm.
There are billions of people on this world that's waiting to see your stuff. Keep putting your stuff out there. If y'all get tired of me posting, mute me. But I know there's billions of people who ain't gonna mute. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? So that's how I keep it in rotation. Because I wanted people to really, really see this project, which this project has helped me do other projects. Because this project helped me do the movie that's on Tubi. This project helped me do something else. This project helped me do the positive. You know what I'm saying? So each thing leads to something else.
Right.
So I just appreciate the opportunity.
Yes, definitely, man. I appreciate you, man. I want to say also too. So you were also in Pastor Thorne,
Right.
Lust of the Flesh. You only had one scene, but I feel like your scene was so dynamic in that entire film. How the deacon just came in and said, you know what, this ain't happening. Your son tried to rape my daughter.
Right.
Da 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 da. Like, how was that for you? Because again, you only had that one scene, but again, it was
What's this?
it was a powerful scene though. Like I felt like you
Right.
came in and just dominated. You dominated, man, for sure. So how was that
Right.
working on that
I,
film?
I enjoyed the process, and just to get ready for that, I was like, just thinking about my own, just thinking about I have children, and just to think about if something was to happen to my kids or the dad acting like it didn't happen, and I really had to feel like I really wanted to jump across the table. I
Hmm.
had to go in there and be like, I don't care what's going on. We Christians or not, you gonna catch these Christian hands. So, but the funny part is, people have seen the movie
Hmm.
and inboxed me. Said, man, I was watching this Pastor Thorne, and somebody sent me a video. I was sitting here and I was like, wait a minute, I know that guy. So that's what I mean. People are seeing it in the good quality, and they was like, man, I thought you were gonna jump across the table and get the dude. But I just love that kind of scene, and I'm a fan of him too. But that particular scene, it was like, man, nah, man, you gonna catch these Christian hands
Yeah.
in this church house. So
Yes. Shout out to
I
Marquise.
appreciate that.
Yeah, definitely, man. Shout
Right,
out to Marquise who played Pastor Thorne. Y'all had a
right,
good dynamic in that scene, so that was dope. That was
right,
definitely dope. So this brings us to the Kwanzaa movie that is finally
right.
out. Finally
Yes,
out on
yes.
Tubi. We've been waiting a very long time for this. Um, like I said, that's things may not happen when we want it, but God knows
Right,
the perfect time when things supposed to happen. So, but here
right.
we are. The Kwanzaa movie is out. You play the father, Dr.
Mm.
Hakeem. What was y'all's last name? What was our last
I
name?
can't say
What
what.
was our last
I just
name?
know what I said. I remember. Call me Papa King. That's
Right,
all.
right, right. And she said, "Hey, Mama Candace, no, call me
Come
Mrs.
here,
Mrs.
Miss. What? Miss.
What was it? I
Man,
can't.
why? but Mama,
Yeah,
Audrey.
Audrey. Yeah,
When
yeah,
I
yeah,
tell
yeah.
you, Audrey played that Mama role. Her, and is it, how do you say Chantal?
Chantel,
Uh, no, the
Shataria,
girlfriend they brought
Shataria.
her and Shantaria. The dynamics between them two was on point. That was just so. Man, I loved them too. The way they clashed and their story and how it built, how they, you know what I'm saying. And I was just a fan of all of it. Man. I just it came across so well. I love that particular film, man. I had so much fun shooting, and we had a great message.
Yeah, it's gonna bother me if I don't uh find this last name because I know y'all gonna be like, Carson, how do you not? I know y'all be like, Carson, how do you not know your characters' names? I'm like, listen, when I write, once it comes out the dome, it's out the dome, and I don't remember
Right,
anything after
right.
that. What was their last name? Where is the script? Oh, here it is. Okay. Last name Morgan. Morgan. That's it.
Morgan, that's it, Morgan.
Yeah. So, yes. So, just you did say you had a lot of fun. Like just brief, okay, because again, we shot that fairly quickly.
Right,
We shot all y'all scenes in 3 days.
right.
All the stuff
Yeah.
that happened in that occurred in that house, the family vacation house, family house. We shot all that in 3 days. What was your experience like working with everybody? You get to work with Chantel, Nicole, Shataria,
Right,
Arthur, Caleb. You already mentioned Audrey.
right.
Jamaris is in it. Simone Wilson's in
Got
it.
it, yeah.
So those people that you really interacted with in the
Right.
movie, like what was that experience like for you? Just
It was,
doing it.
man, it was awesome, man. Just to be around the people I've seen for so long, been fans of, and just to be a part of this project. And I had to kind of come to the realization that I'm not the young heartthrob like I used to be. I'm not the young spring chicken um, like I used to be. I got a little wind under myself, so I have to, I have to move over and play the dad role now. So just to be there, man, just to really, we built like a family. They was like my daughters, my sons, and we just had fun, man. It was just being in that daddy role and dealing with, Audrey and her emotions and trying to keep her straight. And I'm trying to. It was just great dynamics to when you're on set with some great people and they take and I love it because everybody took their craft serious.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody took their line serious. Everybody took the scene serious. Um, it was very professional. We had fun. Of course, I love the food scenes. Love the food scenes. Food scenes was great, but it just to be around them and just I'm a fan of all of them. Just to kind of sit there, it was good. But plus I got to learn. Um, this particular film, I feel, is going to be something that's going to be around for a while because it teaches us about this particular holiday. That
Mm-hmm.
a lot of times people don't want to acknowledge, they don't know nothing about. Well, are they misinformed? A lot of us are misinformed. Oh, I ain't no Muslim. I ain't studying Kwanzaa. Somebody said that to me, and I was like, what? You don't have to be a Muslim to study Kwanzaa. What you talking about? But a lot of people are misinformed. So once they saw the movie, oh, man, that was nice. They had a good message. That mama was something else. So just to see people getting educated while they're being entertained,
Right.
so it's powerful. So of course, by being Black History Month, now y'all know I'm gonna promote that movie all month. So yeah,
And that's what the point was of the movie. The movie was definitely to educate because I know, like I said, growing up, not that it was like forbidden to celebrate Kwanzaa. It was just the fact we didn't
yeah,
know anything about it.
we didn't
So
know
it was
anything about
like
it.
when I became an adult and began to become more knowledgeable of it, then I was like, okay, yeah, this is something that. And again, you're not taking away from Christmas. You can still celebrate Christmas.
Right?
Kwanzaa is not a religious holiday. It's just a
It's not.
holiday. It's a holiday where we as African Americans decide to celebrate and really understand the importance of family and what it truly means, what the holidays really truly mean, and what we're supposed to
Right.
be, what we're supposed to celebrate. So Yeah, like you said, it's definitely people are different. But I'm gonna go back to your heartthrob comment because I wouldn't disagree with you. I'm gonna definitely disagree with you because I've heard that women love you because even in the nick of time, I heard people were fawning over Nick. That's what I heard. I heard people loved you. They was like, "Oh, we love some Carlos." So I'm not gonna let you. I'm not gonna let you say that. That's that. I'm not gonna let you get away with that because I heard differently, sir. And let's put it out. Let's put it out there. This man is a married man, happily married man.
Yeah, yeah.
So y'all do not be up in his DM. Don't be up in his DMs. Don't be up in his messenger.
None of that stuff.
None of that. None of it. Because
But you know, like,
the wifey ain't gonna play that. Because I know her too.
yeah,
She is not playing
right.
any of that.
Baby Kiki Wide ain't playing none of that. That's my little Kiki Wide. But man, I take it all in stride, man, and I take it, you know what I'm saying, as a compliment. You know what I'm saying? I try to always put my best foot forward because I know I'm representing a lot of different people. You know, of course, I'm representing my family and stuff like that, but I'm representing the big guys. So I'm gonna make sure that my clothes are very well fit. That I'm not on scene with a medium shirt or two skinny jeans on. I'll make sure I'm well fit, so I represent the Ball brothers. Make sure when I'm bald, I make sure I'm well groomed, and of course I'm represent my culture. So just my confidence, man. I had to build and develop this confidence. Because growing up, like I said, I didn't have it because I was always the chubby kid, the fat kid. So going through sports, like you said, you grew up in church. I grew up in church. I didn't have a choice. My mama made me get up in front of church and say the Easter speeches early on. I didn't have a choice, none of that stuff. So it taught me how to be in front of people and be comfortable being in front of people. So the confidence I hope I brought over on the camera is that you still. It don't matter what your size and stuff like that, man. You can still look fly. My dad always told me, "Say, okay, how big you are, man. There, people make nice clothes for big people too. I always want something that's nice. Present yourself." And you know what I'm saying, Carter, I can't help that God is blessed with all this sexiness. I mean, that's just I'm just sexy. You can be sexy and saved, you know what I'm saying? So but I just, I can't help it, man. It's just who I am, but just overall, man, it's compliments, man. I don't take it for granted or get big headed about it. But like I said, this confidence that you see and um, stuff that comes across and being able to stand in front of people because growing up I had a speech problem. I used to stutter a lot.
Mm-hmm.
It still comes out sometime when I get nervous, but if you look how God blessed me with that speech problem to where now people are paying me to come and talk. I'm on camera talking to people. And I always tell people, don't let something that you feel that other people put on you where you can't do this, man, because you stutter or you don't know how to say your words right. Nah, man, God used that thing and turned it around. And now, really, people pay me to come and speak to them. Being on camera and stuff like that, I had to teach myself. So I, I always, for anything, man, before shooting comedy, I always give glory back to God. God, I thank you for this gift. I thank you for this time. I thank you for this opportunity because the gift you have in me, it's not for me. It's for me to give it back to people. So I never take this gift for granted. What you see that God has allowed me to work and develop, man, just like I see in you, man. And what I love about your gift that you develop it. You don't let what people don't like, their opinions. It don't matter. It don't matter what nobody thinks. As long as you're displaying that gift, man. So I appreciate that. I appreciate all the compliment. But yeah, I'm married with 4 kids. God has blessed me with a beautiful support system. And they're my motivation. Because as you know, man, doing this stuff, man, and I love that you close to your family, it gets tough sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
It gets tough trying to create something, trying to do something. It's seasons where it's low time, it's high time, opinions and all that kind of stuff, man. But supporting your family, that means everything. And I'm gonna ask you this real quick. I don't know how much time we got,
No, you good.
but
You good.
I know your family watch your shows with you and stuff like that. So, Forrest, how did your family take internet?
My family loved In the Nick of Time. They loved the show. Marcus and Bear, my mom and my sister were really into it for sure. Very invested in it. My sister could not stand Hannah.
Nope.
My sister could not stand her. I think Hannah was her least favorite character on the show for sure. But they loved it, man. They loved the storyline. They really enjoyed all 4 seasons, man. And they, they were fans of the show. So that definitely for
Right.
sure.
Right. So I appreciate that, man. But
Yeah.
like I said, overall, man, it was like I said, it was a great journey. And I know this not the end of the journey that we'll be doing together, but I did hate that we came to an end, but I know it had to wrap up sometime. But
Yeah.
I think that 4th season, I know I kept saying we can come back, but that was a lot.
It was.
That 4th season was a lot. And I think we left on the right note and left it at that point, but that was the peak of it.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm always an advocate of I want to end on my own terms versus
Right.
not having an opportunity to end. So
Right.
I was like, let's go ahead and wrap this on up and
Right.
give everybody the ending that they deserve. Sure, because
Right.
that show deserves to end properly.
Right. And so how I put stuff out there to kind of make people think and just put stuff out there just to kind of create dialogue.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody asked me, I think I put a picture of where Hannah was looking at me when I walked on. She had her hand on her stomach.
Mm-hmm.
And somebody said, is Hannah gonna be pregnant? I was like, nah, this is the last season. Nah, you can tell me, is she pregnant when she was looking at you? I was like, how? But it amazes me how people can pick up and they create their own little narratives in
Yep.
their head. And I was like, I never. But then I went back and looked at the picture I posted. I was like, wow, I can see the way she's looking and she has her hand on her stomach. I was like, okay, it's still amazing how people can pay attention to a show.
Yeah, definitely. We salute all the fans. We definitely
Right.
appreciate you. We would not be here without you guys.
Definitely.
I publicly want to say congratulations to you, Carlos, on having an award-winning show, man. That's dope,
Man.
man. So congratulations to you. Is there any final words that you want to say as we wrap things up?
No, man, just I appreciate this time. Thank you again, man, just for you being you, man, for creating your gift, cultivating your gift, and bringing people around, trying to give people a shot. You gave me a shot, and I appreciate it, man. I tell anybody, man, don't ever think you're too old or it's too late to go out there and do something that you have a dream or just do it. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate the talent, man, because like I said, when you hit me up talk about awards and people enjoying it, honestly, man, I'm still in shock. Like, man, maybe it's okay, maybe it was because everybody else was good, and I'm not, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm hard on myself.
Mm.
But to see that award was like, just sometimes you just got to sit in it.
Yeah.
Don't question it. Don't deny. Just be like, God, you did this.
Yep.
Just and I man, I try not to get emotional when I talk and think about it, based on what I went through last year and stuff like that, and tell people I was like, gosh, you did this. You know what I'm saying? Just to somebody way on another coast somewhere, like what we put out as a project. And I'm telling y'all, stop worrying about those 20 people who don't like your stuff. When you told me those people loved it and we got awards, there are people that are within proximity that never even seen it. And that's like, okay, don't worry about people that are close to you. They'll catch on if they do, but if they don't, it's fine.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate you, man. I really do.
But definitely gotta, like you said, gotta give glory to God. Gotta give glory to God for sure.
Right.
Definitely got to do that. Well,
Right.
Carlos, thank you so much for your time, man. I definitely appreciate you, brother. Thank you for taking the time out to chat, man.
One last question, man.
Go ahead.
One last question. This I'm put you on the hot seat.
Okay.
Am I coming back for Pastor Thorne 3?
Oh. All right, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to wrap it up. Thank you so much. Oh gosh. Okay. Yeah. Thank y'all so much for being here for VPN chat. We definitely appreciate you. And we'll talk to you next. Y'all know how to answer the question, right? We'll talk to y'all next time. Y'all be easy. Be
Appreciate
blessed.
y'all, man.
Yeah, no problem. Appreciate you, man. Y'all be blessed. We'll see y'all next VPN chat. Peace.
Peace.